let's just face it. I think we've talked about it before on the pod, but Shane Anderson had a tough job coming in here midsummer and, trying to lead them to the playoffs in this district this year with the talent he had. I mean, he was behind the 8 ball from the moment he got there because, he's having to install everything on the fly. So.
Yeah, well, I keep telling people when they ask me about Midway, which people either ask me about Midway or they ask me about Texas Tech football. And so I talk a lot about those things. Midway's got 2 things that it's got to not get right, but just 2 things need to happen for Midway between now and next fall. And this is the same for Waco-High too. Maybe the same for University, maybe all 3 of them. Every kid that stays in the program, and maybe they need to make it hard enough to where not every kid stays in the program, just in terms of work and getting better. But every kid in the program that suits up next August for preseason practice has to get 10 to 20% better,
Yeah. And I know that last fall, after Midway's first year in 11-6A with Duncanville and DeSoto and all these teams, that really was an emphasis among the old coaching staff led by Jeff Hume, was that they were like, look, guys, what we did this year, that's not going to cut it in this district. And, but I mean, you can work and you can work and you can work, but are you going to grow 6 inches? Are you going to get half a second faster? I mean,
well, I don't know that, given that they were going to be playing in the same district, I don't want to be too critical, but I think there might have been kind of a lack of motivation among some of the Midway returning players in the last offseason. Now, I don't want to paint everybody with the same brush. I'm sure some kids worked really hard, so I won't go any further into that. But the other thing, besides everybody in the program getting 10 to 20% better between now and next year, and like I said, this goes from Midway, Waco-High, University, pretty much any team that didn't want to have the season that they had, that is that. The other thing is that they need to be in a different district, or hope to be in a different district, and it looks like Waco-High is going to be, what I'm hearing is that Waco-High might even go down to 5A D2.
Wow. It's a big drop. I mean, they were only 6A by 3 students, and we've covered that before. So I think they're pretty much guaranteed to be in one of those 2 5A divisions. But wow, I didn't know they had dropped quite that far. We'll be, of course, talking more realignment as we go forward. Those numbers will start popping up, and we'll have some talk about that. But yes, I think there's a pretty good likelihood that Waco-High, Midway are both in different districts next year, different classifications. I think Midway will probably end up in a familiar spot back with Belton and Temple, and although I think Belton may be going down to 5A, so Midway may be taking Belton's spot in that old district.
But Temple and Bryan and the Colleen schools.
Sure.
Yeah.